Pro Vice Chancellor, deans, senior professors, colleagues, friends, a very good morning to all of you. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce the Sensitization Workshop, which is organized by Mizoram State AIDS Control Society, MSACS, and with a request to Mizoram University to host it. And the Vice Chancellor, the university authorities had requested the Red Ribbon Club, Mizoram University, to convene. So that is what the program is all about. It's sensitization workshop for faculty, staff, and research scholars of MZU, Mizoram University. People have been asking us why it's not for students. We felt that the sensitization has to start with the faculty, with the teachers, so that we will be able to influence our students on the dire need for taking action on HIV/AIDS. Mizoram University, as we know, has been striving towards academic excellence, and we are on the road to that, achieving that goal. At the same time, it has not left behind our social as well as community responsibility. And this is one example that Mizoram University is also doing a bit for the social and the community. I'll just give a few examples of what we have been doing. Mizoram University signed an MOU with the Global Fund for AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria in 2009. This fund was given to 36 universities, only 36 universities in the whole of India, and Mizoram University was one of them. It was a 1.5 crore project, and Mizoram University was working for it 5 years, and the project was extended by 1 year, from 2009 up to 2015. And similarly, 35 other universities all over India were also working in this area. And the area was counseling, the Global Fund Round 7 counseling component. It was counseling, providing counseling training to counselors working in the field in the area of HIV/AIDS, and also providing counseling supervision services to counselors working in the field. And the National AIDS Control Organization, I'm sure that all of us are aware, has given the responsibility to all the states in India under the state SACS. In Mizoram, we have the Mizoram State AIDS Control Society. And all the AIDS control societies in all the states have set up Red Ribbon Clubs. Red Ribbon Club is a part and parcel of the National State AIDS Control Society's initiative to deal with the issues, the problems of HIV/AIDS, prevention, awareness, and so on. So that is what has been happening. And Red Ribbon Club was launched in Mizoram University in 2011 by the then Vice Chancellor. And since then, every year we have been having activities here and there. We have not been able to go full swing because, as we know, that is not our priority. Education, academic excellence is our priority. So, but we cannot leave our social and community responsibility. So we have been going at a slow pace, but we have been, the first blood donation in Mizoram University was organized by the Red Ribbon Club in 2012. Then in 2013, it was again organized, and then there was no blood donation camp for about 3 years after that. Then from 2016, 17, 18, and 19, together in collaboration with the NSS, Red Ribbon Club have been conducting blood donation camps. So we at MZU, the MZU fraternity should be proud that we are doing our part for the social and community service. And as we know, if we look at the statistics of Mizoram and India, Mizoram today has the highest prevalence of HIV/AIDS. So we really need to do something about that. As an individual, as a person, I have been working in the field of volunteering, rather, in the field of HIV and AIDS since 1991. In 1993, I had the opportunity to go to Africa, Zambia, for a conference. There, we had visited AIDS hospice, which was one of the first in the world. That was way back in 93. And we had visited, on field visits, we had visited a few villages around that hospice. And in a few of the villages, there were only grandparents and young children. Where were all the young people? All of them had died of AIDS. So that is a picture, that is a scenario that may not be too far in the future for Mizoram. So I would like to please request all of those who are here, if possible, to at least stay till the lunch, because we're going to have case presentations. The case presentations are going to be given by counselors who are working in the field at Civil Hospital as well as Falcon Hospital. So it's not some made-up story. It's not something that we have copied and pasted from somewhere. It's real-life stories of what is happening in Mizoram today. And I would also like to add that our students at the university as well as the colleges, we have a number of, I'm not saying whether it's big or small, a number of HIV positive people already amongst our students. So we as teachers, friends, dear colleagues, it is our responsibility. We really have to start doing something about it. But if we say, oh, I don't know what to do, I have no background, etc., etc., just being sensitive, just being aware is the first step forward. So friends, let's take that first step forward. And we have, all those of you who are already here have taken the first step, that is attending the sensitization. I hope that our other friends will also be joining us. And lastly, I would request people who are in attendance here to call up our colleagues because what we're going to listen to and what we're going to talk about is very, very important. And the Red Ribbon Club, as I said, have been doing a little bit of activities here and there, and those people who are interested can look at the university website and see what are the activities if you want to be involved in the Red Ribbon Club. Thank you very much. I hope that we have a very fruitful time today. And I would also request all the presenters to be aware of the time, because it's from 11 to 2 o'clock, so we need to finish by 2 o'clock. So since we're an academic institution, time management is one of the things that we have to keep in mind and give priority and importance. With those few words, I would like to now invite the Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor R.P. Vadera, to give a welcome speech. Welcome, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Chairperson of the program, Professor Juan Pari, officials from the IEC and Mizoram State Aid Control Society, senior faculty members, as well as the junior faculty members, research scholars, students, invitees. We are here for a very important cause, but looking at the audience that is there available to us today, it looks the cause is not that important for them. Or maybe, I think the timing of this program, I think even the date, maybe it does not suit, or following their sports are going on, maybe the students have gone, so they have the first priority, participation in the sports, than this. But anyway, I think we in future, even the last time also I had advice, we in future, following when we organize program of this kind, which is so important, we should ensure that participation is adequate as per the venue following that we book for this kind of activities. So anyway, friends, let me start with the topic itself. I have been given 10 minutes. AIDS, which is caused by HIV, is one of the most complex health problems that is confronting the whole world, especially country like India, and within India, a state like Mizoram. When you look into the global scenario, India ranks third in the world in terms of the people who have been infected by that HIV and AIDS. We have around 21.4 lakh people who have been identified are falling. And other two countries, those who are ahead of us, are South Africa with 71 lakh, and then we have Nigeria with 32 lakhs, and we are third in the world ranking. This is unfortunate. Where you should rank third, we are falling our ranking very down there, are falling. And where we should not be in the top ranks and falling, we are in the first three ranks are falling, okay? And it's more unfortunate for the state like Mizoram in the all India, that statistics that is available, that Professor Joan Pari has only given you a hint that among all the 29 states and 6 union territories, we in Mizoram, we rank 1. Are falling. And the percentage of people who have been identified with the HIV and AIDS infection total is around 2.04. And second is Nagaland. No, second is Manipur. And third is Nagaland. And other states in the northeast, which we call Seven Sister States, are falling. They are relatively much better than us. At the all India level, our falling this percentage is 0.22%. 0.22%, whereas in Mizoram, it is 2.04%. Are falling. It is almost 10 times than the national, that average, are falling the statistic percentage available to us. In terms of percentage are falling, I think it looks quite serious, but the number are falling. The total number of people that have been identified is around 18,000, are falling, out of which maybe around 7,000 are falling, 6,000 are female, and maybe 11,000 are the males. And in terms of percentage, in Mizoram I am talking about now. So the women suffering from this is around 34%, and the male are falling who are suffering from it, 66% are falling. So I must appreciate that women folk. I think they are the one, I always say, whatever discipline is there all around us, in the society, in the community, in the other social institutions, wherever we are falling, it is largely because of the females. They are much more disciplined than males are falling. Even this statistics also indicates 34% and 66%. It's almost double in males. If I put it this, so 1/3 is with the females and 2/3 is with the males. And even these females are falling, I do not know the root of the source of that infection. Maybe again are falling, males might be largely responsible. Are falling. I do not have any classified statistics available to me on this. But friends, we are a small state and we are known for many good things. But this is unfortunate that we are known are falling as rank 1 in HIV and AIDS. But at the same time, let me first, I'll come to the suggestions part a little later. Or following, let me just give you a little more detailed picture. Or following, the details are available on this is heterosexual. The root, if I'm talking what, are following, okay. Heterosexual, through a heterosexual route, 66% infection has happened. Homosexual, it's 1%. Infected through that, infected needles are falling, through that 28%. And parent to child, 3%, non-specified 2%. Now, if you look into these statistics, 66% through heterosexual activities. I think we can understand who is responsible. We are following. This is a problem created by us. Are following. We have to find out solution ourselves to it. I'll come to that later. Are following. Homosexual is 1%. Are following because the number of them there in the population are falling also maybe around this, are falling or maybe a little less. Needle, this using of infected needles are falling, 28% are falling. So these two are the largest culprits. One is the heterosexual activities, and one is drug addiction are falling through these needles injections. That is many of our young boys and girls, they might be using it. So as far as this parent to child is concerned, 3%, our 3% is also not a small figure, although it looks relatively less, but it is still a very considerable figure are falling. Now, as far as the age group is concerned, I think that also we have to understand are falling. We find that below the age of 15, we have around 3% people infected. Below the age of 15, 3%. 15 to 24, it is 23%. 25 to 34, 42%. 35 to 49, 27%. These three age groups are largely falling there who have been affected by this deadly condition or the disease or infection. 23% between age group 15 to 24, 42% between the age group 24 to 25 to 34, and then another 27%, 35 to 49 age group. Now, if I put it total, 92% of the people who have this HIV infection, they are from the age group 15 to 49. Now, leftover 8%, 3% is below 15, and 5% is above 50 or falling. Now, this we call India as a young nation, and we have been feeling proud, saying from all platforms that 65% of people are under the age of 35 are falling, okay? And if I look into this 35 age group are falling, so if I add up these two age group, 15 to 35, it is coming to almost 65%. 65% of people below the age of this are falling, and even the age, in terms of age group, 65% of the people who are suffering from HIV/AIDS, they also belong to this age group. This figure matches are falling, and this is the most important age group, the working age. Friends, we no doubt at the national level things are happening in the positive manner. The incidence, the new identification of cases are falling, is reducing significantly. It has reduced. There are many states are falling, a large number of states where there is a negative trend available from 90, because I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere 1990, when maybe the first case of AIDS was identified in Mizoram. I think in the last 30 years are falling, it has become almost 18,000 are falling. One case in 30 years, you can imagine how much percentage of growth has happened in Mizoram. I do not have the statistics available to me from the All India, or falling the figure might be like this, but at the same time, you find other states have realized are falling. That is why the growth curve are falling. It had reached a peak. Even in Mizoram also, it has reached peak. Somewhere, I don't remember the figure, started this, but then again are falling, it has picked up. I have a little more statistics available with me. I don't think I will have that much of time. But what I'm trying to say, friends, this growth rate from 1 to 18,000 are falling. We have to do introspection. We are a small society, and we feel proud that it is a very advanced and modern and well-knit society with NGOs like YMA, with NGO like MHEP, and a church at the top of everything are falling. I do not know what role these NGOs have played. Maybe they are sleeping as far as this particular problem is concerned. NGO like YMA are falling, where you have the people from this age group up to 50, even beyond 50 also, there are people who are the member of it, are falling. The parents, the children, or even the grandchildren are the member. 3 generations are falling as the member of the YMA and even MHEP. I think they have to wake up, and they have to do something, are falling. And I know if it has gone, there's increase with that speed, and I have a confidence in this society. It is small, you have structures, you have organization, you have platform where you meet off and on, are falling. These kind of structures are not available, are falling, where the people meet, are falling every week or Saturday or Sunday, are falling. These kind of platforms are not available in the other part of the country. But then their growth rate has come down, are falling. But we have platforms, but we have not used it, okay? So therefore, friends, Mizoram University, I congratulate the Red Ribbon Club. I think last month on 6th, they had organized a blood donation camp. Today they are organizing this. And I wish that the Red Ribbon Club of Mizoram University coordinates, because these kind of clubs are there all over the state in all educational institutions, especially in the higher education institution. I do not know, maybe in the schools also Red Ribbon clubs are there. If they are not there, need to be formed, these clubs. We must have a federation of all the Red Ribbon clubs. Red Ribbon clubs are falling, then we can have a meeting are falling of this kind at a larger state level are falling. I think if we are falling, are determined, we can within are falling maybe another 5-10 years are falling. It is not possible. Are falling. The people are already there with us for 18,000 people. We have to take their care, their medication, their treatment are falling. But at the same time, we have to ensure that more people do not fall into the trap of HIV AIDS. This is the responsibility of all the educational institution, whether you call it formal educational institution like university, colleges, and schools, or informal institutions, or society, communities, NGOs, or non-formal institutions are falling of education. All these institutions have to join hands to tackle this, the manic of the HIV AIDS. Friends, I know there are some countries, even our neighbor, Bangladesh, who got independence in 1971, 24 years after us. They have already introduced. They are using education as a mean, are falling. They have in the school curriculum, are falling. They have inducted some content relating to HIV and AIDS. And even their teacher education programs also are following, they have some component, but our NCTE are following when the curriculum framework they had designed are following. We have 14,000 teacher education institutions. If we want education as a mean to tackle this problem, are following the teacher education institutions, which are offering pre-service education program, and even all the diets are following, or ISCs, which are also offering in-service teacher education program. They must also address, whenever they organize any training program for teacher education, maybe a one session or one technical session or 1 or 2 hours must be devoted to this. And I remember we have been talking about sex education from almost like 40, 50 years. I remember when I was a student doing my MPhil, my supervisor, she was talking about introducing of sex education. We were thinking that this may be another way through which we may be able to handle this HIV AIDS. But that has not happened because maybe the society, the community does not have that much of confidence in educational institutions. That issue of sex education is very sensitive. Even when we talk about HIV and AIDS also are falling, then indirectly or indirectly, your sex education has to come in or falling. People do not have yet that much of confidence in the teachers or falling. I think something need to be done or falling. We have to earn the confidence of the society and the community so that this responsibility, because coming generations, now with 96% of the relevant age group enrolled in elementary schools, universalization of elementary education, all children, 95 to 96% are there with the teachers. Similarly, through RMSA, we are trying to universalize this secondary education, or following within another 5-7 years, may we all have 90% of enrollment of that age group in the secondary education. And at the same time, all of us are aware that UGC, MHRD targeting 30% of enrollment are falling in higher education institution by 2020 are falling. Then I think maybe now in the new educational policy, this has been targeted by 2030, we would like to have 50% enrollment of the age group 18 to 23 in the higher education. Now, if that is the scenario which is evolving in front of us, 100% of children in the elementary, that age group in the schools, 100% of children of the secondary age group in the schools, and 50% of the students of this age group, this 18 to 23, are falling where you have these problems, are falling from where the problem got initiated. If these are also there in the educational institutions, I think education looks only the way possible, are falling, although we have lots of government structures here and there, are falling, to me, are falling. We have to plan, think, design our curriculum packages, are falling from the school level onward. As environmental education, through the court ruling, falling has been made compulsory, and maybe otherwise the court will come and the court will intervene, or falling will make that this course on HIV and AIDS as a compulsory course from school onward. Are falling. We have to wake up, friends, but at the same time, the people that we have, 18,000 people around us, I know they are being taken care of, but I do not know, as of now I have not visited, are falling what kind of care, are falling what kind of treatment is going on. Government of in India are falling very recently, are falling, I read it somewhere, they have earmarked around 2,000 crores for this particular program, but they may not be adequate, are falling 21 lakh or 22 lakh people, maybe more are falling than this. But anyway, I think maybe government of India has taken up this a task. They say by 2030, we would like to see that we do not have any this person infected by AIDS and HIV are falling. But friends, out of the 229 countries, I was looking into some statistics I wanted to know, 119 countries are following this problem. But at the same time, there are 110 countries where there is no HIV, are falling almost 50-50, are falling almost 50-50, are falling. So I think we have to learn lesson, are falling. And I find, I don't want to go, there are lots of ways to analyze, are falling the Islamic states. If you look into India, are falling, Jammu and Kashmir is the lowest, are falling. J&K is the lowest, Mizoram is the highest, are falling. And even Himachal is maybe the second lowest, are falling. Himachal is also the second lowest, are falling. No, I think we in Northeast are falling, we have to understand, are falling, why we are in first, second, and the third position. 3 positions out of the 35, they are with us. Assam is doing well. Assam is much less than the national average, 0.22. Even Meghalaya, the national that I was talking about, 0.22%, whereas in Meghalaya it is 0.11%, whereas in Assam it is 0.06% are falling. We are 2.04%. We have to do introspection, and then we have to work out strategy. I have a great hope, a confidence that we can tackle it once we decide it and resolve it. All these NGOs and even the church has to wake up, are falling, and see that our rank from 1 goes down to the bottom. Thank you so much, friends, for inviting me for this very important gathering. But anyway, I had only 10 minutes, are falling. I hope I have not taken more than that. Thank you so much.
Mizoram University is so lucky to have such an information-laden PVC with all the statistics and thought-provoking and practical suggestions. Thank you so much, Professor R.P. Vadera. So now I would like to invite Ms. Zuiliani Shasel. She is the Joint Director in charge IEC Information, Education, and Communication at the Mizoram State AIDS Control Society. So she's the person who's in charge of all the condom promotions and all the IEC that we see on TV, in the news, etc., etc. So I would now like to invite her to give the presentation, and after that will be the presentation given by the real-life counselors, those counselors who are actually working in the field. So I will not be coming and standing and announcing again. So after Zui, the counselors will proceed with their presentations. And since the presentations by the counselors will have to be in Mizo, I have requested Ms. Zuiliani to do a summary of the presentations. And I would also request our colleagues, those non-Mizo speaking to the Mizo speaking to sit with our non-Mizo speaking colleagues so that we can at least give a summary of what the cases are about. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, Ms. Zuiliani Shasel.
Morning, everyone. Professor R.P. Vadera, our Pro Vice Chancellor, and to all the faculties of Mizoram University, and to our dear friends of the Red Ribbon Club, on behalf of Mizoram State AIDS Control Society, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for organizing this program. So I will start my presentation. It's going to be on a few statistics plus some video clips that we have prepared. Since I'm not so tall, I will use this and thank you. I was quite impressed with the information that was given by our Pro-Vice Chancellor. I know that he has studied and looked up on the statistics and what is happening. So I was very impressed with the information that he has regarding the statistics. So before I start my presentation, we'll have a quick look at one of our video clip. Milo puitin mem o kan play me dona akal zel me he minimize sangai ti na me slide hi. Okay, I'll try this way.
HIV hlau om zeng ngai to angayem HIV hlau om zeng ngai to angayem HIV kai huna chap HIV hlau om zeng ngai to angayem HIV kai huna chap em ni film khuritum nu pa in rin om lo sanawangte nu pa in then jok chunga midang in kop sanawangte Tleirol nula le tlangwal in ngai zon nakara sex manawangte an mi hriat chian le rinzong takte an niawang ringota sex man puite chuti rualin hriat chian po ni hleilo condom te lova sex man puite awangin kan rama hian nasatakin HIV apungani tulaka po film phurla in ngai zona in kara aniemo nu pa in kara aniemo rem chang i muthut po ni thei condom te lovin tuma sex man puisu
So I'll start my presentation with the statistics. As Sir has pointed out, the first case of HIV was first detected in October 1990 at the Civil Hospital Isol among a group of injecting drug users. So since then, before 2000, the year 2000, most of the HIV cases which were detected were among the so-called high-risk groups, those who are living at the risk of infecting HIV, those that we termed as people who are injecting drugs, and a few of the female sex workers. And I would also like to say that before 2000, there were only a very few cases which were detected in Mizoram. So Mizoram was once considered as one of the low HIV prevalence state. But at the dawn of the new millennium, so when we entered the new millennium, things began to change. We began to have more and more HIV cases, and the trend has also changed from earlier, before the year 2000, most of the cases, around 85% or more were among injecting drug users. But then after 2000, we began to get more and more HIV cases through sexual transmission and also among the general populations. So the trend has changed from the high-risk groups to the general population. So from 1990 to March 2009, we have more than 3 lakhs blood tested. This is not the number of people because there are numbers of high-risk groups, like the drug injecting users and the female sex workers and the migrant workers who have their blood tested twice or more in a year. So this is not the number of people. This is just the number of blood tests. So up to March 2019, we have this much number of HIV positive in Mizoram. And so, like Sir has pointed out, we have more than 66% people infected through sexual routes, meaning that there are lots of unsafe sexual practices in the state. And we hardly had cases of HIV infection from homosexuality before 2000 and the early stage of 2000. But now we began to have more and more cases, HIV cases through homosexual route that we will be, that our counselors will be sharing later on. As you have seen from, these are the from heterosexual route, 61% of them are through casual sex. They are not through regular partners. These are through casual sex. Only 3% of HIV cases are from commercial sex partners, commercial workers. But 61% of them are through casual sex among the general populations. We will be hearing from our counselors. We have some cases. I won't be saying lots, but we have more and more cases among college students, even from the university. These are their girlfriends, their boyfriends, and some are through casual sex, people that they don't even know. You know, they picked up at picnics or some of the events that they went to. So lots of young people have sex at these events. So that's an unsafe sexual practices. That is without the use of condoms. That's where most of the sexual transmission takes place. And we have 35.3% through regular partners, mostly within the married couple. Okay. Sir has rightly pointed out that more than 90% of those infected with HIV are between the ages of 15 to 49 years. That is the productive as well as the reproductive age group. Some of them are not married, some of them are still in their late teens. We have people who is as young as 16 who has around 3 to 4 sexual partners already, and they are not commercial sex workers. Who are school-going children, and some are dropouts, some from college students, even from the university itself. So lots and lots of young people are infected with HIV through unsafe sexual practices. And this is going to have a very huge negative impact if the productive age groups keeps on infecting, if the prevalence keeps on continuing like this. We are going to pay a very, very high price for this. So that's why we need to have some actions to control the epidemic. This is the year-wise daily detection. We have around HIV new detection from 9 to people. Around 9 to 10 people are detected every day in a population of hardly 11 lakhs. So we are surely going to have a declining population if this trend continues. We have more than 40 HIV testing and counseling centers, full-fledged counseling and testing centers, and we also have facility-integrated HIV testing centers at smaller hospitals like the primary health centers. So, combination of that, we have around 9 to 10 new detection every day. In 2000, during the financial year 2018 and 19 alone, we detected more than 2,500 people infected with HIV. And the trend continues. In some states, the sexual route transmission may have gone up, but the HIV transmission through drugs has gone down. But in Mizoram, both is growing. Like as we have seen on the chart, the HIV detection through sexual route is growing, and the HIV detection among the injecting drug users are also growing. This, it's a bit small, and I apologize for that. These are the number of tests that we've conducted year-wise. During the financial year 2018 and 19, we have more than 44,000 blood tests. These are the HIV prevalence in the nation. As you have seen in the chart, Mizoram is on the top. In India, the HIV prevalence is hardly 0.22. But in Mizoram, we have more than 2.4% HIV prevalence, meaning that between the ages of 15 to 49 years, out of 100, there are more than 2 people infected with HIV. Like for the case of Mizoram University, you have lots of young people between this age, 15 to 49. So imagine, out of 100, if more than 2 people are expected to be infected with HIV in the state, imagine how much numbers of people infected with HIV will be in your campuses every day. So that's why actions has to be taken here at the university to control the epidemic so that new infections are not taking place. New infection rate is highest in Mizoram, almost 20 times the national average. At the national level, new infection rate is 0.07. But in Mizoram, the new infection rate is more than 1%. The HIV adult prevalence is also increasing in Mizoram. Like I've said, between the ages of 15 to 49, out of every 100%, more than 2 people are estimated to be infected with HIV. And one of our counselors today here, she called me up yesterday. Today is Wednesday, right? On Monday, she has 5 new cases. Yesterday, she has new cases, and that is just in one center alone. So imagine the scale of the problems that we are facing. So that's why we need to have some action starting from this university. And then we will also go to another colleges, we will go to the education department and try and take some more actions. Like I've said, we have to include HIV and AIDS in the school curriculum that we have requested the MLAs also, so they are going to help us, sir, in that case. But in this university, action has to be taken. So I hope that we can discuss it on what kind of actions that can be taking place starting from tomorrow, because as we are talking, more and more people are getting infected. In India, there is a decline of 25% HIV cases, but in Mizoram, it is around 18% new increases. These are the cases of so-called high-risk groups, those who are considered as one of the most vulnerable against HIV. Among the female sex workers, we have more than 24% HIV cases among the female sex workers. And among the injecting drug users, HIV epidemic is around 19.8%, which is very, very high compared to the other state as well. Among the pregnant women, again, we have the highest HIV prevalence, whereas at the national level, the HIV prevalence is only 0.28%. In Mizoram, it is more than 1%, meaning that HIV is spreading among the general populations, those who are considered to be the least vulnerable. In 2018 alone, 208 pregnant women are found to be tested HIV positive in 2018 alone. And these are the district-wise HIV prevalence. HIV is high in every district. Epidemic is everywhere. It's not just Aizawl. Of course, Aizawl has the highest epidemic. It is 3.29%. But every districts are showing a very high epidemic. Let's go back. At the national level, the prevalence among HIV, among pregnant women is considered to be 0.28, which is considered to be among the general populations. But in the lowest cases in Saiha, it is 0.46. So epidemic is everywhere in the state. These are the two main routes of transmission in Aizawl district. Sex is the highest, and transmission, HIV transmission among injecting drug users are also increasing. This is Champai. Champai is also, Champai, which was once considered to be a drug-driven epidemic, are showing changes. HIV transmission among unsexual practices is also high, and the HIV transmission among sharing of syringes and needles among injecting drug users remains to increase. It keeps on continuing. Kolasip. Kolasip is showing an increasing trend among both drug users, and there are lots and lots of drugs availabilities which is pouring from nearby states, Assam, and also coming from international borders. It's coming from Champai to Kolasip, so there are lots of drug availabilities which add to the increase of young new injecting users, and HIV is spreading among them because they are sharing syringes and needles, and sexual routes is also contributing very, very high. Longklai is also showing an increasing trend among drug users. Lunglei is showing an increasing trend both among both through sexual routes as well as drugs. Drugs availability is increasing because it's coming from Champai, it's coming from Saiha. So drugs, there are lots of new drug injecting users. So we have lots and lots of new HIV cases among the drug users. Saiha, again, this is a bit of a concern because lots and lots of illegal drugs are pouring in from Myanmar because of its border. So, and there are lots of unsafe sexual practices as well. Sertip is one of the most, it was considered to be a low prevalent district. But now, from the past 2-3 years, they are showing an increasing trend, both from drug users, among drug users, and through sexual routes among the general populations. We have lots and lots of HIV cases among pregnant women, which needs immediate attention. Marmit, again, there's lots of drugs pouring in from Tripura and also from Aizawl, and there are lots of unsafe sexual practices again, which both of them contributing to the rise of the epidemic in the district. These are the number of people who are registered at the ART centers and who have initiated this much. More than 11,000 people are initiating are on ART drugs, and out of which more than 8,000 people are alive on ART. These are the number of facilities we have under MSAGs. We want to show you one video clip, but before that, even though in our program sheet we put discussion and way forward in the afternoon session, but I hope that we can do it. I hope it's okay because Sir is here. So I hope we can have a discussion in how we can take some step forward here at the university campus itself to stop the new HIV infection among the students here at the universities. I was hoping, let me just show you one presentation. We need to generate awareness on the dangers of HIV because fear is the key. We believe that fear is the key because when we conduct some tests, we found out that lots and lots of people, more than 90% of those who are getting infected, more than 90% of the cases we have at ICTC, they knew the roots of information, but despite all the information, they still got infected. That's why we thought that fear is the key. We need to generate an awareness on how dangerous HIV is so that people will be careful and people will give more care on prevention. And number two is we need to generate awareness on HIV risk perception. The perception here at our state is that we thought that just because I am an active member of YMA, just because I am an active member of the church, I am not at risk of HIV. And so I have a boyfriend, and I thought that because my boyfriend is regular in the church, he will be free of HIV. So we have sex. And then that's how most of the cases that we have are from churches, are from YMA members, and from your institution and from other colleges as well. So that's why we need to generate awareness on risk perception among our students and also among the faculties. I'm sorry to say that, but it has to be there. And then we need to generate awareness on the importance of consistent usage of condoms. In Swaziland has the highest HIV prevalence in the world. So their culture has a lot to do with their unacceptance of condoms. It is very similar to our society and to our culture because we considered ourselves to be a Christian society. But then we still have premarital sex, we still have extramarital sex, which contributes to our vulnerabilities against HIV/AIDS. So that's why we need to generate awareness on the importance of consistent usage of condoms even between married couples because there are lots of premarital sexual activities and that's why the wives got infected. So that's why we need to generate awareness on the importance of condom use among our students and also among the faculties and also among the office staffs, administrative staffs here at the campuses. Because once a person is infected, HIV is not curable. So that's why prevention is the best method. And we also need to ensure easy availabilities and accessibilities of condoms within university. So may I ask Dr. Mai, how many condom outlets do you have in these campuses? Is condoms available for your students and for the staffs and for the faculties here at the university? At present, how many condom outlets do you have? but our Red Ribbon Clubs was formed in 2011. So some action has to be there, sir. And we have to prevent new infection. Yes, we have a very high epidemic. So that's why we need to halt and control the epidemic. Starting here at the university, we have to prevent new infection. These are the activities that we are proposing, but we can also add, I'm sure lots and lots of people have more ideas. We need to maximize the use of social media use for disseminating HIV and AIDS. I'm sure lots of departments have their WhatsApp group. The university has a website, right? Yeah, so do you make use of this website to generate awareness on HIV and AIDS? Has it ever been used? It has been used. So we need to maximize that. And we also need to maximize the use of, I'm sure that the university has a Facebook page, and then there are lots of people who are using social media. So let's try and maximize the use of social media to generate awareness on HIV and AIDS, so that we can prevent new infection, and for those who are already infected with the virus, they can get treatment, which is available at the ART centers at Civil Hospital in Aizawl. And so would it be possible to display hoardings within the campus with messages on HIV and AIDS? Numbers, because you have a huge campus. Suppose I will talk to my superior, if we provide the fund, can we install it within this financial year? Will we be able to install it? Okay, there won't be any objection, right? Like suppose hoardings with the messages on the importance of using condoms. Would it be acceptable, sir? Okay, okay, because we need to have maximum number of hoardings with messages on HIV and AIDS, prevention, so that we can prevent our students as well as our faculties, as well as our administrative staffs from getting infected with HIV. And then, can we identify condom outlets within the campuses? Can we have condom outlets? Because we have lots of washrooms here at the auditorium, at every department. Can we have condom outlets? Will it be? Okay, I hope we can do it, because we need immediate action, sir. Yeah. Yes, there is a, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, please. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, okay. Okay, continue. Mm. Okay. But sex doesn't need to be promoted. Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay.
That is there in our Indian literature, that is there in Indian philosophy, that is there in the Bible, that is there in the Ramayana.
But do you think we're following that?
We need to follow that. That is the only answer.
No. We need to. Yeah, sure. But do you think at present stage, do you think your students at the university are following that?
So,
No. Please, do you think that they are following that at the present
we
situation?
followed so many generations. We followed so many generations.
Sir, they have this. They have lots and lots of exposure through this.
So what we are trying
They are already vulnerable. They are already indulging in this. That's why we have the highest HIV prevalence in the country. And we need to control that. It's an ideal thing. I know that. I'm a Christian. I'm not supposed to have sex. And I'm not having sex. But that's not everybody. But that's not how our young people live. They have lots and lots and lots of exposure through this. We have the social media, which was not available during our school days. That is the present situation. It's ideal to have abstinence until marriage. It's ideal to be faithful to your spouse. But that's not how many people are living today. That's a reality. I'm not agreeing with them. But if I want to control the epidemic, if I want them to be free of HIV, so what is your suggestion then? How do we control the epidemic then? How do we control the new infection then? Yeah.
What Professor Joyce has said is in the mind of, I think, majority of us. Because what it looks like is to prevent HIV, use condom. That itself can be wrong message. What we can do is that the best way to have to prevent us from acquiring HIV is to have safe sex. That also don't indulge in premarital sex. Then let's go from that to that. If at all you cannot prevent yourself, then use condom. So that, because when straight away we give that to prevent HIV, use condom. It gives so many wrong messages. So first we have to tell them that to prevent HIV from acquiring HIV, do not have premarital sex, have safe sex with your spouse and everything. But in spite of that, if at all you cannot control yourself, then you have to use condom. That is how the message.
Okay, so you want abstinence to be there first, and if not, then there is this strategy called A, B, and C. One is abstinence.
This is what I wanted to say, what both of them have said. Let us
A, B, C.
Let's not. She has used the term safe sex. There are different ways. What is the most safest? The most safest. You have the degrees on this. Don't convey that you use this. Discipline, education, socialization processes. I know this is there. We belong to a different generation. The generation that you are talking about is the present generation which is there in the colleges and the university and the school with this. But still, family, discipline, socialization, value system, the attitudes, all these still can play a role. For example, we also, our days also have. See, another thing which I'm talking about, the divorces, separations, number of marriages, that happens. That is again, this aspect also has to be looked into.
Exactly.
So what I wanted to say here is, I don't want to say that students, please, that if you want to have it, use it. Like university, colleges, we don't want to send that message. We are not Western countries. We are still very traditional in terms of our child upbringing. Therefore, I think we should be a little careful because you are the one, you will be talking on hundreds and hundreds of platforms. So I think we need to think.
Okay. Maybe we can try the ABC approach on our holdings.
The safest way is the stability in the marriage. That is first thing. What has actually been happening, stability in the marriage that need to be encouraged, motivated. Young boys and girls, they should be asked to stick to once you marry, take the responsibility of that girl. till your life. I think these are the most safest ways.
It is.
These are the most safest ways. Then this pre-marriage are falling. I think children are falling up to 15, 16 are falling. They should be made to spend their time in the studies and sports and their body build up. We know lots of psychology theories. They should be redirected. Redirected. Problem there is all over the country, all over the world. The time after the school and the college, that 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, that's the most typical time with the youngster. Where to spend that time? Where are our sports clubs? Where are our culture clubs? Where are our other engagements? This is the time when most of nonsense happens.
Parenting also.
So therefore, we have grown in a culture, when we come back from this education institution, evening, our parents will push us to go and play hockey or volleyball or something. We come back home, we have to let us think of those ways, not the Western ways falling off this, that tell them to go ahead and do you use this. I think we will be sending our message. Thank you, sir. You have taken, I did not want to say, but then change that.
Okay.
Can I just give my comments also, please?
Sure.
I mean, I think our senior professors have already given them. I think Mazui, what she's trying to say is, the problem is already there. HIV positive problem is very much at large, not only in Mizoram but also in India. See, we are talking about prevention, and whether we like it or not, people are having sex. Young people are having sex, old people are having sex, everyone is having sex. No one is going to have sex openly, number one. And number two is condom distribution is not about promoting sex. I think we have to understand that very, very clearly. As far as the area of HIV, like AIDS is concerned, it's more to do with harm reduction, like strategy. It will prevent, it's more about preventing, further damage. So we have to get it very clear in our head that condom distribution or syringe distribution, even today, of course, even the church, etc., are very, very critical about it, but they're starting to be open a little bit, giving chance for professionals to even talk about sex education, etc. I think, condom distribution being one part of the prevention, which I think is one very good idea within any public places in Mizoram. Sex education would be one strategy also, actually, So there was this just one experience we tend to, let's say, in all these aspects, we tend to kind of bring morality in any kind of our discussions, See, these things are not about morality. It's about a disease that has already come at large, and it's not only epidemic, it's already pandemic, as far as the world is concerned. So, So, I think the university fraternity also has to understand that, there is no problem in preventive strategies of condom distribution, or even, like sex education would be one soft way of actually, trying to help our students to deviate away from such kind of thing. And of course, condom usage is also one part of sex education. So we have to be very clear that things are happening behind our back or under our very eyes, which promotes the problem of HIV/AIDS. And so I think maybe it's a little bit skeptical to, distribute somewhere outside, but somewhere within the vicinity of the college or the university. But the outside, there is the gate outside is there. There are many shops, all right. And then those places can act as outlet if it's a little bit too critical to have condom outlets within the university. Thank you.
Have we started the discussion? Just two questions. I'm not going to go into some lengthy discussion now because there is a discussion
materials that we have been talking about, have they been put through screening for the state? Has the research been done on the efficacy of any of these IEC materials in the state? Because what works well in another state, in another cultural milieu, may not work well in our culture. I think that was, the main problem for us a long time ago. And assuming that we have improved in that area, I'm asking whether these new ones have gone through, these IEC checks, like the movies that you have shown in the beginning. That's the play scene was, I don't know, more positive than negative if a youngster was to look at that, such things. That is one question. Has research been done in recent years about the efficacy of the IEC materials for this population? It must have been done elsewhere, in New York, in other places, but what is the status here of the IEC materials?
Let me answer that. Let me answer that, because there are no such research of that new developed IEC materials. But let me answer you. Let me tell you this. We have been denying the presence of casual sex, unsafe sexual practices in the state for far too long. We've been denying it for far too long. And with the pressure of the society and of the church, we focus on abstinence, and I believe that's why we fail. Because most of the cases that we have are 4 or 5 years back. We've implemented the condom promotion campaign in October 2017. And I'm telling you, the new infection through unsafe sexual practices has slightly gone down. But it needs to be continued, because even if we agree it or not, people are involving in sex. We don't have any research done, but I understand your, But the thing is that we need to promote it. Otherwise, we will not be able to control it. There are lots and lots of young couples who are involved in the Christian organization. They are happily married. The wife got pregnant. They come to the testing centers because it is mandatory for every pregnant woman to get tested. They are tested positive. We have lots and lots of cases. So that is within the church organization itself. And beyond that, we have numbers and numbers of cases. We need to put aside the teachings of our churches in HIV prevention, unless when the church people tell us, our pastors tell us, okay, fine, we will stop our condom promotion. But please control your church members to be faithful to their wives or to their partners. Please control your young members to abstain from sex. But they can't do that. They can't control their members. It is not possible. That's why we have a huge epidemic. It is ideal to abstain from sex until marriage. But young people are not doing that. That is a problem. I think,
Just one thing is, let's not connect these to any religion.
But
And
it
no,
is.
no, I'm
But
not.
then
May I have a moment? I'm not. Yeah, I did not. I only asked a question whether a research has been done. That's the only question that I put forward, not to put you in a defensive corner. Please don't be defensive.
We haven't conducted any research. That is my simple question. Answer.
That's the simple answer that I wanted, because that's the gap. That is something that we need to do, like Red Ribbon, anybody who is in the field, that is what we need to do. And one more question, one more very simple question. Who does the research? Has there been independent research on the prevalence of HIV/AIDS in Mizoram? And what has NACO or other national organizations that have been funding us say about the supposedly ineffective programs that are going on in our state? Because nationally, the prevalence rate has gone down. But in Mizoram, according to your presentation,
It is
has
coming
gone
up.
up. And so much money has poured into our society to combat this social evil.
Okay.
And it appears like it is going up. So where are we going wrong? Has research objectively been done by some, professional research organizations for our state? What is the research seen about the statistics, prevalence, and things like that that we are seeing today? Because there are a whole lot of talks about data collection and people sharing. That I would not like to share here because there are some things that should not be shared, I feel, because I'm a part of this community, about this society. There's some things that I don't want to say, but
Misotrogin kan soi menge acha cho then khashia tin du si lo chuan hemi hi chu kan be se hi chu mo HIV sentinel surveillance nia India rama pumpuya conduct khanita kami base khanita chu kan prevalence rate hi chu mo chuan national level atanga anut siam fek ta mo a data kamo 3 consecutive months in dikhanin testing center mi lo kala piang kha anonymous and khatyang an test khanita mo itinan now pai ten ni chuan now pai sung local khami hun chung 3 months khatyang khanitop ta mo chuan in national family health survey tene khan an han enta ti chuan an dia phe chan asang le zwa lamo sang tuk tok premarital sex te extramarital sex te aturu top chuan kan fail la chan pakha chu YMA hi pakhata chon harm reduction program syringe needle exchange program te condom promotion te kan du lawa church pon ni thawa he in fail na lian takani anron dia joint review mission anron kala district shanga te grassroots te anron zir chiang amo in du lo zela ma se tiang in omsi lawa in fail na lian takani in mamo angin chera una sa taka in chet lo chuan Swaziland na chuan 47% anian HIV prevalence hetiang hi in liang denial in omrei lutuka in ni na lo angin lan petin tuma minti chu kai mani pun kan feel achan chu kan sa ko zirtir na tenente kan chopol zela he chu kan ti om lo kan ti zela ma se hey when you hand me za somnga vel kan expect ka kanon import say case presentation turte anni case presentation atang hian mishing hi tu ti anga kan ni lo zia chumo testing center atang hian asia topa ma se kan nei zui zel to nem ti poi ka sha thiam lo ni chu mishing kan tlem lu to kan tam po present in nuam chia lawa adang hian an la sha thiam chia boxi lawa kan case atang hian in ami zo tal hi local cha se chuan han sheule cha makin tingotang in campus ahian malak indu na sangotang katitop achan chu antam lutuk college student te MZU a po hian nei nia o mi pale mi pa in kopte in tam nia o chung te nupui nei reng chunga ma ni mi pat pui lo kopte mo chu chu nia kondom te po kan du lawa kan du lo chung hian mi tam takin an kai ring chu chu ni top mei kan du lo chung te tha kan ti lo chung hian an kai tu kan ni nei kan accept lo chuan engtika ma hei kan veng lawanga kan control lo mai ni lawin up young generation hi kan la loss na sa don lutuk tuna ha kan loss pop don ani top ART hi central atangin min lo pelo fe se chon asang tel han an thirui don chu kan shia tangai kalome
Okay. It's a very contradictory topic, as we all know. But it's good that we're opening the can of worms, so to say. This is a good, I had hoped that we would have a bigger participation. But anyway, if all of us go back with this can of worms and see how we can deal with it, that would be good. So next we will invite the counselor from Civil Hospital to give a case presentation.
you have reported that the number of persons identified per day in 2011-12, 4.8, 12-13, 3.8, and then maybe 17-18 you said 7.5, and maybe 18-19 are falling 9.2. Are falling. This is the statistics you have given. But I do not know, because you in that table you are writing your center remains open only 25 days. When I come to know that Mizoram 9% new cases are identified per day, so I immediately multiply by 365. Are following? Per day when you say, in a month I say 270, in a year 365 into 9, it becomes 3,285. But your center remain open only for 25 days. 25 days into 12 months, it is only 300 days. Are following? 300 days into 9, it becomes 2,700 per year. Are following? When I divide 2,700 by 365, it gives me the percentage, this per day, 7.39. Are we not projecting, are following, trying to say that Mizoram situation is much more serious, are following, whereas it is 7.39 and we are projecting this as 9.2. Because people are following, how many days your center remain open, are following, after you have the statistics for the whole year, divided by 365 days. Are following? Okay? I think then you will be able to, because when you say 9 per person per day are falling, then 1 month, 30 days, 270 into 12 are falling, then this is how I calculate it. I think I do not know what is happening at the national level per day are falling, whether this is the figure given only by Mizoram state or there is a standard format that all states are identifying, reporting figures, how many new cases are identified per day are falling. So then when I calculated it, are falling, when you were saying 4.8 per day, it was practically are falling almost 3.12 are falling when I think this need to be reworked, okay? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Since we are past time management is not very good, but then it's good. As I said, we have opened a Pandora's box. So now it's time for lunch. So let's all go downstairs where refreshments will be served and we can come back and discuss about the case presentations by the counselors. So I request all of you to please come back, at least those of us who are here, so that we can talk. Yeah.
Let me congratulate these young girls. The task they have taken up in their hands, I must appreciate. Okay, you have a very serious issue in your hand, and I find the kind of energy, involvement, commitment that is visible from your efforts here on the dais are falling. I think we need many more girls and the other youngsters like you are falling. I think certainly, I am not pessimistic. I am very, very always optimistic. Falling. If we have created this hell, and I know we can find out the solution to this hell. Are falling, okay? I think the human this behavior are falling, which is a behavioral problems. Are falling. It's not cultural, and this is are falling. Okay. Let us not talk about this religion or that this that are falling. But the fact of the matter is that this is we have created it. Are falling. It was not there maybe 20, 30 years back, but it is there with us, and I am sure the way the system is working and in this particular direction are following the government of India and the state governments and the NGOs are falling. I think we will soon, because already the curves have started falling. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So shall we all proceed for lunch and then come back? Since time is not on our side, we need to have good time management. So we'll start, even though there are not many of us. Hopefully, some people will come back. Anyway, we need to start with the case presentation. And I would like to introduce the link nodal officers of the Red Ribbon Club later, because only one person is here at this point of time, and the rest they have meetings, etc., etc. So I would now like to request Ms. Lalruat Sangi, ICTC Councillor, to give the case presentation. Since very less people are here, so shall we sit in a group? But then the chairs we cannot move the groups. So if we can fit in these 2 rows, then they can ask questions. We will have a discussion. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Nula kumsom hi paruk mi ni bial zai pol member ni lai ni HIV kai tura in ngai lawa minor surgery tura ni wangin doctor ten test turin an ron refer HIV positive ani ti mo chwa ni kumthum kal ta khana bial pa ni an chi swala chu changa kai chu ani ama po in makati le bial pa hui po chu HIV test sak ni in allow positive le bokani.
Her case number 1 is a 26-year-old young lady. She was supposed to have a minor surgery at a hospital. So they referred her to the HIV testing center, because every person who is to go under surgery, even the minor ones, are supposed to be conducted the test. So she doesn't have any suspicion, so accordingly she went there. But then surprisingly, shockingly, must I say, she was found to be infected with HIV. And based on the counseling, she said that she had a boyfriend 3 years back whom she had sex with. So that's where she got infected. And she, at the time of the blood test, she was an active member of the church. She was a member of the choir. So that's how deep HIV is, even within the church. Yeah. Boy, local road, had a hana and loud hey.
Yeah, he handing.
Oh, come. She hurt her foot, so I think it will be more comfortable if she comes in and sit with us. Case number 2
Miss, tatrang ha review na in documentation tang kan du box siya.
Ho.
Nakin zela en tang han du don siya mo.
Okay. Okay, har sa tem nang ma. Ashe mem. Oh, hangkal le me ro. Oh, hello. Yes.
Case number 2. Meithia kumsomli pathummi ni in private hospital pakhatin HIV test turin an ron refera. Allow positive ama hi sarkar hathok ni in ama soidan. Senior takin pasal kaneya ngat senior takin virgin in pasal neya kum chan vevel chau ani nei nu in a pasal chwana rukin damdoi lo tv a shat velian in chen hal HIV allow positive man rengti mo chwa ani kha.
Okay, this is an 43-year-old woman. She got married in her late 30s as a virgin. And then after 40 or something, when did she got married? Okay, she got married after 40 years. She reached the age of 40. So after 6 months or so, after the marriage, she found out that her husband was indulging on drugs. So she got divorced. So since finding out that her husband is injecting drug users, she went for a blood test. Then she was tested positive.
Patling kum somnga palimi ni in sarkar halian tak thoklai ni kaushan di hi an shat kan do lo chan soi tel.
Okay.
Kaushana po mi chang kai le mang takani kum khat kal ta vel khan nu thloi pakat ne anin ko ve zo ka aril ronom theilo wang in HIV test turin alo kala a positive mo so ani anu pui po hi sarkar na chatak thoklai ni test sakwe ngal ni na mai ro ani hi chu ala negative.
Okay. Third case is a 54-year-old man, married man. Okay, he was involved with one lady, one woman, for kum khat ve la menin kop.
Kum khat kal ta ve.
Oh, okay. 1 year before he got tested, he was having an extramarital affair with one woman. So later on, after 1 year, he thought he went to the testing center. He got tested and found to be HIV positive. And case 3 ka kan le te lok.
Oh, ka so ka.
Oh, his wife also got tested. She was also infected. The donor was the donor was the other woman. So he transferred the virus to his wife. So all 3 of them got infected because of the extramarital affairs. Okay, the case. Oh, case 4 is a 74-year-old man.
He to 74 keep anu zo.
Ani mo?
Oh, anu pui ni. Peter
kalau ngai thang.
Ki Peter kum sum sari palimi ni in private hospital pakhata join HIV test turin an law refera allow positive ta anu pa hian khotlanga mitang kai takani caution khi chu pai ta zel taila a positive na chan tur she lawa ti chuana pasal kha kan ko ta a pasal hi allow positive pa a pasal hi tu na kum somria nilai me kania voi khat nge nia voi kha chu an lo in je phei ta pasal hian nu la lo ko ve je wanga HIV an nu pa kai ta
So okay, this is a 74-year-old. This is a 74-year-old woman who was treated for medical cases at a private hospital. So she was referred to the HIV testing center and found to be tested positive. She was very confused because she did not have any risk, because she was very, very faithful to her husband. Her husband, who is an 80-year-old man, was also tested and found to be HIV positive. Through a series of counseling sessions, it was found that the husband had extramarital affairs some years back, long years back. So that's how both of them got infected.
Puttara kum somria tania hospital admit ania assistant doctor ten test student on referral positive kum som kalta khana nu puina boral sana kum nga kalta vela nula pakhanin ko pin nu pang nan lo kho savechin da shang shang ina tlak bua ka bang hospital apo admit ania ki thami panhi gan da chwana chan chu kum upa kan mu chwa civil hospital bi ka chuan
This is the senior most cases that was ever detected at the civil hospital Isol. This is a 80-year-old man. He was admitted at the hospital and referred by the hospital doctors to be tested. And then he was surprisingly he was found to be positive. And it was found that 10 years back he lost his wife. So after 5 years of losing his wife, he had an affair with with a woman. So that's how he got infected. So the reason why they display these cases was that people of all ages are infected with HIV.
Play role. Kiki kan hu chwa sex awanga kaya chuan ke mani case ICGCB kala no pangber ang kan report ni.
This is the youngest case they have at the civil hospital. This is a 15-year-old girl. Her parents got divorced, so she was brought up in a broken family. She came and was found to be tested positive. This girl had 10 sexual partners. 10 sexual partners at the age of 15. Next. Okay, this is a 39-year-old man who was he was admitted at the hospital for surgery. They conducted a blood test and he was found to be tested positive. He has a wife, has 2 children. He has a wife and they have a kid, 2-year-old kid. So his wife and his kid were tested, and both of them were found to be positive as well. The wife, while she was pregnant, she was tested as per procedure and found to be negative. So as per the counselings, it was found that since she was tested negative, she breastfed and had no treatment. But that's how the child got infected. So in between the test, after the test, she got infected from her husband because her husband had an extramarital affairs while the wife was pregnant.
MSM kanda mizo trong lu toka ki te ki MSM lo te ram mi pa kum som hi pasari mi ani a chung kom pa ngai taka tanga chor chwa kani ama hi le khathiam tak bi te kani dam lo na vai private hospital chen HIV test turin anron refera alo positive abial nu het fel tak nein abial nu nen po sex an mang to chi na ma se aru ki na mi pat pu lo kop chen chuta changa HIV kai amizo ho shata kan veiru deu mei tun lai kan mizo nge kan nambi ka hianin kan shat ve shim tur chu swal na hi aturu to lu to ka mani an pui kop heng hi in ngai dana chuanin tle ma twai dewa mo khain lo ti ka ringa ani lo ni mi pa ngai khi po khan bial nu khan po na ngak reng bial nu nei reng chung nu pui nei reng chung hian mani an pui kop hi kan nga to lu to ka ni chu fashion ang deu khana kala namdang sha ta pe chuna za thla ka ni kan ram hi I nge Korean in minru na mo kan chalai mania college englawanga pe chang kan soya I kan chalai te hinga ti reng reng nge he ti reng renga mani an pui hi an du tak hi nge ave om le zwal to voinya ban case pathuma mokaronda bekina ronda chwak bokanga I tuai kher khan an mi pat puyan kop to lo ti la ya kha in ri ro lo shola chu chu I nge anamang poina moal phau thla kha lai kha chu le kha tul ta lo ta nga kan ron soi be du ne chu
Case number 8 is a person who is a 27-year-old man who is having an affair with another man. So we have cases like this since this kind of cases have increased as the rest of the world. So he had a BTech degree. He was admitted at a private hospital, referred by the doctor. He was tested and found to be positive. Case number 9 is a 20-year-old man. He came to college from a nearby village. This guy is also a person who is having a relationship with the same sex. And he had 3 partners. He's also infected with the virus.
Oh, annoy he ka soi fia do akilaya ki na tina choma kan khel vak laya kha ko shan kha ko shan mi ve kan nya ke ni po he biagi na po thu kan soi do na ni bekin ye rei lau te kan chang ve lu tok ring tu kan ne ma se khita annoya ka ronda du kher chu khi chu apa che alawa ne mel ron en pon ron ti der ra ron lu pon amero to akop puya kha arap thla ka tilu to an ina a omna mi ina ava oma a omna pa chu ko shana mi chalang timyang an mani ko shana chalang tak me ne chumi ni po chon ko ngal turin kanin tia mase meeting poimo ani ni chu ko shan thila chu an pa berlen chon khi thlei rol te khi anin kop reng me mo nge mi pat na khan mangru reng anu pui khana shat pui mi alo anu pui khadin mun lo ma renga chu voi ne han he hi ngi ama chang kan phor lu tungam lawa he case hi ma se I voina hetla university anga chuanin nge mi thiam rualde an ni boka tingka ron da chhuak ama in kala da chhuak cha lawing ka sha he mi case bi khi I kan presentation ta July te chu kan rama hianin ko shan te ko ra kan mang ringot si lai le aru ka counseling room a kan thu sha thina hi ron she thin ulang chuan mo kan zoram mi pui te hian sha se chuan a phena hian kan then to lawang ti lai kha kan soi do chuan civil hospital kan how to te doctor te hopan voina ka ron kal to ani na ang pop hian zu soi to ro hi min ti ve ni chu wang chuanin kan rin ai hianin kan ram hi a che to ani nge kan Christian na hi kora kan mangrei lutuk hi mo voin thleng te pon kha discussion a kan da sha anga hi te khan a kopui pa khi chu ko shana po a enge mochin na ni so enge mochin kan ti kha chan an rotin kan soingam lawa anupui annaw tlema thingtlanga changa ronom enge hi munte po han phya der ve thei tur ang chi ang khan anom pui ta a amero chu an lo incorporate tlatani ke po min shock ani khi sa khi chanin khi tun nai case thawani Oh, keep okay. Mazui kan soi chun zon thei thawanga.
Case number 10, two guys who came to Aizawl for work. So they live in as friends because it's common to share, tent. So, and then on the outside, they just looked as normal friends. But behind that, there is a story. They are having sex with each other. They are of the same sex, and they are found to be tested positive, both of them.
Kasoi fialang ki po ki tia kan ngaya chuanin mi smart lut to kan ni an smart lut to kan mani kha an ron kala po nge zirna a po atop kan han tiang chi thleng phan ni chu an pani khan ta chuanin in an lua du na an chung te ngaya chuanin thian dun in lua khan ni me in thian in lua ha ma chi counseling na HIV alo positive ta ka chuanin kan han zo chuan an pani khan an lo incorporate me ya chu wang chuanin I kan rin phak pia lam hian hemi data na china ama an dule ala sa kan ron da 2017 na tang khan mani an pui kop atanga positive a apin kan apani civil hospital bi ka khan khatlai tang han ron zuang chawa tu na hi zon atir jon counseling pui kan kon fee bi lo nuam mi alo nya han in zo top me he tunai chan enga ma kan ngai to lo ani pa de ron kal te po hi kan lo zo top to me ni chung khop chuanin I atam to ani ti lai te kha I ke mani chin hau sha ta kan soi fia le voi khat tlangwal kum som ni pariat mi ni ina du than nei HIV ron te sa lo positive a kum khat kal ta khan dam doi alo ti ve zo khi ni min pia lo ka case ne ya ka ron da chang hala ka ron soi do na chan chu ama hian in fel fai hi in ti lu to ka a in ti dan chu tu na khoi muna ke ma po lu ti la amo eng ko nga po hian thil ti khom ta ila ke chu ka khuma po thian ti an mungam lo ti khopa mani in vong fel fai chi ni dam doi po hi ati rei lo kum khat chung vel cha atia April thak hian ka tilangin ka sha ta hian April thak hanin aron test sa ke ma hiana aron negative ani chuanin April aron test aron negative khan April a vek chuan alo man tro mania chu HIV ka de swal syringe kha ha ril ru nuam te lawa a next month aron kal le ma se HIV chon window period kan sha a Africa ala London lawa wangin enge thathum nu amo ron kal le turin kan ti chu ni min pia lok khana ron kal alo positive ala na em ani a chan chu aman trom chu amana count thei chu voi khat che kha aman troma syringe kha ma se ta chon alo kai man kha karon da lan na chan.
Okay, case number 11 is a 28-year-old guy. He was for a year he was injecting drugs. He never shared syringes with anyone except for once. He went to the HIV testing center on April this year, where he was found to be negative. But at the same month, he shared syringes once with another injecting drug users. So he went to the ICTC, that is the HIV testing centers, the next month. But he was found to be negative because there is a window period of 3 months. So he went day before yesterday, isn't it? He went to the testing center again, day before yesterday, where he found to be tested positive. So that, I think that shows the risk of sharing syringes and needles with anyone. Yeah.
Kipo konfi tak me nula master degree nei to chin khania mase akai na tur tia an han kai hian result kan han in pek ya an ring lo ve thina ni cho achan chu 6 week khat lek mang tan chuan ka kai na tur ka shilo he an ron tia amiro chu khi kan han kom chia na chang chuan kum thum kal ta vela han voi khat cha chu konfi ni ma po chu an ma phe chu 6 mang to lo ang mai na lo om to ni chu mo kaina chan ka shelo ti tur khopin ama kha anun kha lo konfia amiro chu ta khya na lo kai man voi khat te kha karon da
Kiki ani e kondo min tarte hi tul lo ka ti tu ka
karon jak te pe lo
this is a young lady who has a master degree. She came to Aizawl with her younger siblings. She was taking care of her younger siblings, a very good young lady. So, but she went to the HIV testing centers at the reference of a doctor. So she was found to be tested positive. Based on the counselings, it was found that 3 years back she had a boyfriend whom she had sex with. The funny thing is that this young lady, she never had any relationship after that one guy. So she's been abstaining from sex. So she did not consider herself to be at risk of HIV. And also the funny thing is that she told the counselor that when I went out and found the HIV messages on buses and on the hoardings on the roadsides, I thought that this is not sex, this is not necessary, you know. Just abstain from sex, do not have sex, and then you will be free of HIV. So she used to tell her friends and people around like this because she never considered herself to be at risk. But surprisingly, she was found out to be having the virus because of that one relationship she had 3 years back.
Kan skip may don mi le skip ang kiki som ni pangami mani khan ka soi toin ka sha engineer line positive te mu chani ton thlengin na zong ngam lawina oma an mani district dangami ni in positive awang hian aizola anu te
Kiki en laba mi sex atangina me. Okay, this is a 25-year-old guy. He has an engineering degree. And he was found to be infected with HIV through sexual routes. So, but because he came from another district and his mother lived with him in Aizawl. He has lots of psychological problems because he did not receive a proper counseling. So he did not even search for jobs because he has problems accepting that he has HIV. So they came to the HIV testing center, received lots and lots of counseling. Now he's accepting himself now? And accept them?
Accept.
Okay. Now he's accepting it, and then he's in the process of recovering. Now we'll request Becky to give a presentation on some of the cases that she has. Becky is a counselor at Falcon Referral Hospital. Today is Wednesday. Monday she had 5 new detections, not new cases, new detections. When we said about 9 cases a day, it doesn't necessarily mean new infections. It means new detections. They could be people getting infected 4 or 5 years back, 7 years back, but they are newly detected, not new detections. So.
Oh, look there. Okay. Pima soi kan lo translate to ra ngai la mizo tong he comfortable la bi sap tong han ti kha chuanin enge mopal te thil om thei ania chuan hei hi hor
Aka to kan
san me ka pe ka ki nula pakhat ai zola second semester BA ron zira ni ti chuan HIV zai tur zai nga ya ni ana cha kan soi to kha tu po HIV an kati an zai don chuan hei engting ka soyang skirt te tak te po nei ma se kha HIV test na tel lo chuan anel pon tin tala tang pon ha pakhat phoya po HIV test na tel lo chuan an phal to lo ta shim ta ni chu an ron tir ani ta a khi mi po khi I zai ngai chu ni lo se aron kal don lo reng top mai ni a chan chu kan soi lo kang HIV hi mi na ka ya tangin kha a symptom ron lan hun chu mi shi se la phei chuan kum som pali tanga kum som li thleng po khatiang ang hawa kha chuanin kum nga chung po in shemia lovin om theya kum som chung po lo in shemia lovin om thei ta ni ti chuan an ni po khianin a symptom kha engma pakhat mala nei lo re ma se zayanga ya atonsil zayanga wang ron kal chawani zai khangai lo se so test turin ICT se ron kal don lo reng chu ni anita ni chuan an ron test ti ra kan hu chuak ta a chuan hei hi in lo in aizolan oma a una ai kati aizon nu lak chuan hei point sex chu ti tak multiple sex partner ni chuang lo pahni khat lek amut puya tanga ka ya ni ma se akai na zok tur kha tungen ni anga shelo
This is a young lady who is studying a second semester BA at one of a college in Aizawl. She was supposed to have tonsil surgery. So she was referred to the HIV testing center for HIV tests and found to be tested positive. She only had 2 partners, only 2 sexual partners. So she doesn't know which one of them that she got infected from. The one thing that the counselor has mentioned is that she said that majority of the cases that she has at the referral hospitals are referred by the doctors. Most of them, despite having sex with their boyfriends or girlfriends or having extramarital affairs, do not consider themselves to be at risk. So this lady also, if she was not referred by the doctor, she will not have gone to the testing centers, meaning that she will be infected and she will be without treatment for a very long time.
Okay, apat ni naki case number 2 hinang mani MZ iwatanga zir chuak ni MM. Ti chuan adam lova aron omani damdo ina. Chuanin na ama kha I symptom nga to mai ni chi sang TB ten zun kong thalo te kho cigarette thelo ten skin problem thangin pan aron eng lo na sa mani symptom chi khat ka aron pan na sa mai ni ti chuan an ron kala chuanin an admita doctor in ron refera chuan khian hei hi thingtlang ami ni district capital pakhatami ni ama hi ti chuan in lo in aizola omta an omta a unaw pange unaw nu ti che kha ka she to lova ti chuan kan kom ta a chuan ama de tang to in ama de ya kan ami patpui homosexual kan ti kha ka te tang kan mi patpui lo kop thin mo chuan MA heti lai azir lai nge po khana kop akop ta ni chuan tika ama kha a that lok tuk lo wang khan kan be dong te wakita hospice Grace Hospital kan nei ta HIV positive big dam doi in kha ta chon kan in refer chhota ma se tu na chon dam doi te ART treatment te la tha em ang lo to em ani ama po na te azonga tu na hen an nei che nge kan in contact to lova tu na chon thada win nun pa ngai takin om to.
Okay, this is one case. This is a young guy who used to study here at Mizoram University. So he was from another district. He came to Aizawl to pursue his studies and lived with his sibling. So at the time while he was, before he was studying at Mizoram University, he had a relationship with another guy. And during the time he was studying here at the university, he had a relationship with another guy as well. And he, at the time when he was referred to the testing center, he has lots of HIV symptoms, skin problems, TBs, all those things. So he was at 8 cases at the time he was referred to the HIV testing centers. He was then later treated at the community care centers where people with HIV having opportunistic infections are treated at Durtlang Hospital. Right now he's on regular ART, and now his health is also improving. But one thing that we would like to say is that this morning we had a discussion saying that our students are at risk. This guy is not just at risk. He was infected at the time he was studying here. Then that's our reality.
Finish. Okay. Next. Kipo imo kat nang mani tanga zero zaugi homosexual mi patle mi pati in om se amak hi katia gai ma pon kipo ki ni thawani o ma zau hella ma hian in tran nga deu thon ani chuan kipo ki ma zau azir zau thlim lola chuanin ama ero chu ki chu adu thu aron intes ani ama du thu aron intes ani aron kal wangwanga civila po mi antam si ka kal ngam lauti in ke ma kha ka posting ka state referral hospital fal ko na ni ta chon mi an claim te bang tin aron kal kan nal ta ni ti chuanin enge ates du chan kan han so ta kan pita kan han soi ta ti chuan hi chu hei po hi thingtlang mi thawani ta ni he pa po hi in luat thawani ta ni thingtlanga chuanin achan chin chu min shil ta ama kumnga kumti vel kal ta khanin ami patpui ne chuanin section no mang to ta ni ma se ma ti ka zira het nge ni thate wale kha zir chwa ka du awangin kami patpui po mei cha po ka ngai zong nei ni alawin to om ta ati ma seng khatiang reng kha alo ni theilo aniang chumi nu a chuan ami patpui thau kha akop le ta ni ti chuan khami kha ama hi aladam lo chuang lo tu na hian amir to amana asiat le ta na chuan he tilaya kum legal ta ami akop pa kha ma azir mani chu ba vel azir lai ne ani ta chumi akop pa kha atnu a khan positive ani ti as alo shele ta ni ama khan mi tlang han soi vela khan so amir chu proof na ta akhami amu pui kha apat na kha a positive tak tak ti chu ashe chuang lo ma se mi ka tengin kha apat na kha a positive tu na hian treatment po la ti in ashe ro ta chumi tlang chu ka bula ron kal ta chuan alo ni ta tareng ta chuan an boy tha ze chu mai la ni lawa chuan chu an ni chu mi ni chuan ama chu kan han ti ta ni chu mi ni chu ama khan ko pa lo nei le ta ni chu mi kan tes la ya ko chu lo nei le ta ni ti chuan alo shil ani karinga atu ka ton akop pui pa ko chu amai na ron kal le ron tes le ta kan hu chuan ve ta ni.
Okay. The third case is a young guy who just passed out from this university again. He came from another district to study here. At the beginning, when he he used to have a relationship with another guy 4 or 5 years back. So when he came to study at the university, he thought that because he wants to focus on his studies, he did not have any relationship with anyone. But as time goes on, he started having a relationship with another guy. But then later on, he came to find out that the person that he had sex with 4 years back there was a rumor that the person has HIV. So this guy, he went to the referral hospital at Falcon thinking that there will be less people. So he went there and he was tested positive. And at the time, when he was tested, he was in a relationship with another guy. So the next day, after this guy was found to be positive. His partner also came, and his partner was also tested positive. So there's a lot of homosexual activities as well as heterosexual activities happening among the students here at the university.
Kipo ki heta MSc zau pokani. Amai ro su ki chu damlo na wangan ron admit ani ta ki chu homoni be lawa heterosexual ngani ngai zong mi chia pa ngai ne ya atanga ka yani ta ama hi district pakhat capital pakhat atanga pakhat thawni ta hi a district ka chu ka soi lawanga chuanin avandoi be de shim ka tia khotlang le ko shana point mangna salut tuka kabul ka hne na ron thlen po chuanin mase chu damdoi na ron oma damdoi na ron ompo khan na em chuang lawani a symptom ke mana chu kan test kal phung hi Dr. Ronji Farah pre-test counseling kan nei pui phot ta ni an chanchin kan so ta pre-test counseling a route of transmission te enge an nei theidan a risk a chance nei theidan kan so ta chumi nuwa laboratory kan technician ne na kan rif kan thon pheya anin thisen na lo la a ti chuan khami result kha kein post test ka lo pele ta ni ti chuan ka pre-test counseling nei lai kha chon engma kha soi du thadu vak lawa kan han in zong kan han zo po khanin baka ama ka MSc lai ten ya han en reng pon a fel lutu kuwa po e lo me zali ka zo zewati zu po enge mo chang ta occasion en tianan kum khata voi ni khati picnic se kha khan ka in ve ati khatiang chau kha ni ta ni ti chuan chu avandoi han ti to ni o kan ti avandoi han ti vak po chu ni chuang la ba mai ro chu mi pahni khat ka lo mut pui tangin mai cha pahni khat le ka lo mut pui tanga ka ya ni o hi po he.
This guy is also from another district. He just he passed out from this university again, but this guy is not a homosexual. He's involved with two ladies, only two women. He was also tested positive. He's an active member in the community, but the relationship that he had with this two girls, these are also very nice ladies, people who are involved in the communities. That just shows how generalized the epidemic is. In other states, the epidemic concentrated mostly among the so-called high-risk groups, female sex workers, truckers, migrant workers. They don't have that much of a problem with drugs, especially in the northern and in the southern belt. But they are mostly sexual epidemic. But in our state, it is both heterosexual as well as drug-driven epidemic, and it is a generalized epidemic, not just among the high-risk groups. It is concentrating both in the high-risk group as well as among the general populations. The partners that he had, the people that he had sex with, these are also very young, active women in the community. So that goes on to show how deep the epidemic is, how deep the problem is.
You can skip the dominant. In ang natin note ka na soy nual to ta mo. Oh, unique beat de hi mo ngor olok ngor case number 2 akyan mo. Aha ka khoyanga yani ama ki business yan de may rana nita. No po yan ya fa pahin ya an fa de ka for kumli le kumru ani law kumtum le kumnga ti vela nyang an te. Ti chuan aha kha heta private in aizola apan ta ni ma sengin kha a private doctor kha sota khal ko na thokani ta ti chuan heta ka private hi chuan in sen na box ron thei mai ro ti in khal ko na kal tir ta ron thei tir ta ti chuan na china ka soi to kha hap phoi tu rengo po hi an ron tir to nge ta ki pa po kin ron tir ta a mel en reng pon smart lu tu mel tha box si mi pa a po mel tha deuh mai nya nge pa deuh mai ni ta chuanin kan han tin ni routine hi ngai ve to ke pon ka ti bor ani a sex life te a past life te kan zo pon chu tiang ka nei lo nu pui ka nei to a atia mi shil liam puata ti chuan kan test ta a result ka aron le ta alo positive ta a ti chuanin a van doi ve shim kan ti ila kan soi sual tam lawanga hei po hi tlai khat kha a bia a dor nga na khanin รัวสูรนี่ส่วนรัวข้าสูนสลตุกาส่วนนูลับประคติอบรันดายันเตรอนประคติเราเราติงารัวสูบานหักขานินส่วนจู่อาเกาลูตาอันนี้ข้าเองเราสีข้าเราคงไอ้บอกสีหูหลวงบอกสีข้าเกาลูตาที่ข้าคิดจะก็ไอ้ปุยาตีกันตีเดียแต่ข้าจุดจอด prohibition นั่นนี่เราไล่ละเองเราไล่ข้าเนี่ยจู่พอเราพอรูเบตานี่เหตุปะยันส่วนจู่ข้ากาแฟอินเวทให้ไม่บอกกันตีที่ส่วนนี้ก็ทางเจ้าขวาข้าทิมโตบอกสีส่วนก็ทางเจ้กันหัวรัวเราโดนเนี่ยก็ตีตีจู่ปอยเอ็มตานี่ที่ส่วนข้ามีอันหันอินเนี่ยข้ามีจบนู่แล้วเราเตะหลายคนคันยังไงโฮเทลลันบุกตาโฮเทลละอันว่าเองเราตาจนจานไรตักมาอินอันโฮเลตุนเดเลเนี่ยที่จนเห็นนู่ที่อันอินนักโปรเชจวงเราว่าจนจุมีเวงจนมินคารอตีอากาเตียกขาดเรื่องตาอดิตานี่จนอามาพวกขันขานู่ขันนักกายังตีไงนักขาป้าขันเชลเราแรงตบไม่เนี่ยอาจารย์ตัวอันเมลไม้ส่งไงตัวอินให้ตุนไล่มีปาที่จนขันลินตีน่าสัตย์ข้าจะชัดสีเงาสีข้าเดียงอังสีข้าในตาเนี่ยจวนเตียสข้าไอ้ไงข้านู่จังขันอากายังตีไงนับประคัดมาเองเชลล์เร่ตามาเสียอาจะยังไงวางตามจวนกันเตียสตาอารมณ์ในตาเนี่ยที่จวนอันนู่ข้าอัตุกับอันนุปุยข้ากันโตข้ามีนี่ข้าจวนนัดไหลโตวางเงินติ้นเราก็สิลงับโคตรเราไม่สิลสังสวกังเจนังมาในที่ตานุปุยข้าอาจารย์จวนอันนุปุยปะสกัดจะทกันนี่บานเตียตัวปะเฮาส์เวย์ปะฟ้าที่เลยมาเราเอ็นกอลตัวระดูเนี่ยจู่มีไม่นี่เราเนี่ยจู่ก็ใส่อมเสียจู่มอมีไม่นี่เราหนุปุยฟันเอาที่ขาดไม่นี่เราอันหนุปุยปะฟ้าที่มาเกมันก็ถกเทียนาก็ถกเทียกระโจมโดนจะอีหนาที่บางหรอกขัดยังตบขัดยังคบทำมิลิง่ายปุยหมอกขันในตาที่จนอตุกขันหนุปุยขันอร่อยช่วยแต่มาเราเสียเราละไม่เราจู่นังมันนั่นชวนลำละเราช่วยที่ไม่หรอกขัดยาอันรอนกันดูตาเนี่ยที่จวนนี้อันหนุปอจุดที่ขันเรา positive เดลตาจวนนี้อันหนุจวนนี้ก็เรียกว่าเห็นอะไรจ้าเรื่องกันไล่นั่นนี่อันนู้ค่ะจับซอยมีตัวฮิตละซอยเอ็งติงเงี้ยเกี่ยมาแล้วว่ามีตั้งเราหมุดปุยมินปุยเรสันอันนัดโตเตะแรงเนี่ยงั้นติงเงี้ยคนดมมีเรามันเราว่าติงอยไม่เนี่ยจับซอยอันฟ้าละค่ะอัมมาเรื่องข้าอินเทียมเราตาอักกุนัดจับงอยบอกว่าเอ็งมาพอฮิบงรัวพอข้าในเทแล้วว่าข้ามีจมขจรนินติดส่วนอีกงั้นติงเงี้ยคนดมเราบ้างแล้วตัวเตียงดินคนที่กันนี่เราไม่ตัวมีแต่ปนก็เชื่อเวียนนัวนะล้มก็เชียนเตะเบียร์ปาเตะปอันเล่ก็เชียนเตะภาษาเตะปอันเล่ระมาเสียอันนี้จนคนดมมันนัดจ้างอันเชียสินเอ็งก็ติงอิเชียเวลแล้วอัดติงอยไม่เนี่ยขานูเมียนที่กับมิตรเห็นอะไรจ้างเร่งอะไรฟินตูน่ะเห็นกันสอยท้องเลยตัวตาเนี่ยที่ประคัดก็สอยดูไม่จุดตูน่ะเป็น HIV โปรเจกต์นี้อัสซุ่มเละตำนัดตูรินที่เห็น positive อันที่บักจุดที่ก็ตีมาอันลักนัดเทนัดตูรินจู่ๆนี่ฟิลจะเห็นรอนอุลักกระดูเชนมอแห่งติดตู้เขาเฮจนปุจจวเรนจวชัวมากันกลมชักนกมาเงี้ยคนมินเตียนี่อินซอยอังที่จู่นี่เราฟังกันเตียเราก็รอกับบุลาเราก็รอกับติเฮียเลยนี่อันนี้พอจนกันเกาชันอุปะอีสอดcollege ปะคัต principal กันเตียงมีเท่าสมเสียมนั่นเห็นอินตีนี่เราโมM6น้องโปที่เรากำลังเจอกันเตียจนจู่กันไงดันจู่กัน educated person อะเลยมีตบปุ๊บมีลาร์มีป้าไงรู้ตัวกันไงพวกกันไงดันจู่แล้วนี่สักไม่เนี่ยให้ตักกะหิงตีเนี่ยนี่อัง drugs addict HIV ใกล้ตัวจน drugs addict กันตีKS กันตีโมจน risk ขัดยังอัง risk ในสร้างห้องอังขัดกันตีตาเนี่ยตัวนักกระสวยแห่งให้จู่อังเองเราเจ้าเนี่ยข้าขตาเห็น positive เองก็มั่วซัดกันในตาเนี่ยจวนจุงเขาแรงรอนกัลเขาเฮีย risk ใน IDU insecting drugs อุจาระวุ้งเล็กลูก KS ตกเดียวตู้มันไงเราจู่อันนัดนะอินไซต์อันไงวางเตะเละTBเตะนิวโมเนียเตะอันรอนในวางรอนอินแอดมิดเจ้าวันนี้จู่วางจน HIV เฮียวันนี้เห็นเราอินชลายที่ต่ำใส่กันดูง่อยไม่เราจะไม่ใส่สิหรอกตัวอินเราทนสวยเลยชัดกันตัวก็กลมแรงเฮีย positive เจ้าปนเรา negative ปะคุมสมปริยัติมีกับมาอารมณ์กันละ HIV test ตรงนี้ทันจู่ใจง่าย operation ง่ายนี่วางเงินจน6กับ exposure ในตัวก็โซตาคุมสมปริยัติมี virgin ที่กันวางลุดตัวกันนี่มีปาปอมีเชียปอนี่เท่าจนมีปาตุกันละเสียทียมเดียวเล็กก็มีเชีย virgin เคลมไม่นี่exactly อีเราหมดปุยตัวอังปัดนี่ปังอันนี้ทุกไม่นี่ virgin ที่ก็โซตัวจงต้องจะสมหินมังเอ็มจู่นี่ตบตัวไม่นี่ไม่เราทุกครั้งเขาจุอันนั้นเนี่ยกระจีกันทานมาเสียขัดเตียงอังคันจู่ akal chawa a inzayanga adamanga a akalanga sexa man tamna na son ala tong don chetia mem ala tong nge don ton kun ala nei don min sexa man na sat na chon chu ni ka soi thin HIV kai te le het alang thei si lo chala het lian te win bok om se chu kan in se sang tur ania kan in se sang to si lo heta thau de o ma kai lo tura kan ngai chir de o ma kai tura kan ngai mo helai thau de kan lo kai ka positive ti ta hian ron tlari la makin ti via wang o ke se som ko chuang te nia o chen pe chu som sari chuang te nia chu nia chu wang choni tu po hi HIV kai tura in nga yang uti hi kan soi nem mem ta ni chu now pai ron kala now pai zong so ku man te during kan test to a now pai ma ni akum som panga mi ron kala kum som panga le akmel en reng pon no pang te shat in nei pon in nei don chuang lo ta chuan now nei during ron kala a positive chuang lo nei chu po chu ani le I pasal nei in now pai ma gen exam nge mo pui to pathum patni chu ni chu kum engtika nge active tanang kum som pali tu na som panga ron rai cha som pali ange som pathuma sex tha pan ma sak be rangai to ro arap thak lu tu kan kan ko veli khanu po kha kan laveng man ka tia kalom lu tu kan ni achan chu counseling kan pe ta a hla om sia khatiang song song kha khami awang khami kha lo ts lo bi counseling chu lo pe lo ila chu kum som panga ni amang chho ze langa kum som ti a thlen meu chana kai don nge top chu ni ta ni chu wang chon bo in ni a hianin ti tak set he thil kan ngai to hi angai tak zet to hi ani top me ni chuan oi du tok me don o kan du tok me don ya ngor olok o thing pakhat kan eng lo le lo kanga o a summarizing the turin o kan lo summarize to kang chuan ka cha du che u lokin kaushana kan in manga khotla nga kan in mang vasoi vak lam optima HIV lo kai leng e bakka ti chuan kan resource kan college MZ1 ron kan an soi na salat to ka kha ngai khap na ma min lo ngai sak sak so o ta min lo tho pui vera u in kaushana in thalai tia in KG tia in theireng tro vasoi vak ka chung kwa bulin chananga in chian tia kaushana khotla nga lo soi keu te u o he hi ti chuan condom kha kan mang lo thei lo nei chon sexy condom om ti hi soi mel me to ke ni po he ti ma soi hoin be ka kan ak reng kan bak mang suang lo kan ak reng thau ka ni mai chu available reng tu ra ni ti kha kan eng lo don ne o khati song khan ro se
I case masa kha khongai takin han let le te a kuming sa nge ti kha kum som thum ti ro
o kum som thum
the last case that she presented was from a 30-year-old man who was a very successful businessman here in Aizawl. He went to a private dental clinic, but the doctor said that it's going to be very expensive, so he suggested that the client may come to referral hospital Falcon because of the prices involved. So when the client came to Falcon Referral Hospital, he was referred to HIV testing center because it's mandatory for everyone, even for a dental checkup, to undergo HIV testing. Surprise! Before at the pre-test counseling, he informed that he was a very family man. He had 2 children, 3 and 5 years old. So he said that he did not have any risk. So they had the blood tested, and surprisingly, when the result came out, he was found to be tested positive. So he undergo another post-test counseling, and through an intensive counseling, it was found that he had only one encounter with another young girl. It was one evening. He has a shop in Aizawl. It was raining heavily in the afternoon. So there was this one young lady who was standing outside his shop waiting for the rain to stop. But the rain keeps on continuing. So eventually this guy invited the young girl to come inside the shop. Then they talk, and after some time they had a few drinks, and then together they booked a hotel and spent one time with each other. And he dropped her to this one locality. He doesn't even remember her name. He doesn't even remember where she comes from. He doesn't have any information about this girl. And so that was that was 1 year before he was tested positive. So he did not consider himself to be at risk, not even once. So when he came to the referral hospital and found out that he was tested positive, he was very, very shocked. So the next day he bring his wife, who was working at the government department at the time of their marriage, at the time of their wedding. But then, because he wants his wife to take care of their children, she gave up her job and was a stay-at-home mom, full-time mom. So eventually when the wife was tested, she was also found to be tested positive. So she was crying and had a hard time accepting it. She said that at the counseling centers, she told her husband, she was crying, and then she said, "Why didn't you use condom? People are also having an extramarital affairs. I'm not saying that this is acceptable, but if you use condoms today, both you and I will be free of HIV." That's how important the use of condom is. I'm not saying that please accept extramarital affairs. Please take casual, be casual about sex. We're not saying be casual about having sex. We're not saying be casual, it's okay to have sex before marriage. But the thing is that people does not always plan to have sex. They do it accidentally. They do it, they did not plan it. 70% or more of them do not plan to have sex with anyone, but they end up having sex when going to some events, some picnics, or like the time at the shop itself, at workplace, and then end up having sex because, like as I've said, it is a generalized epidemic now. So today, this morning we had a discussion. It will be a long process for others to accept that it is necessary to use condoms, not just use condoms, carry condoms, because these days we don't go out without our phones, like we can't survive the whole day without our phones. Just like that, please don't go out without your condoms. That is the message we are propagating these days, because people are at risk. Lots and lots of young people are at risk. So I don't know how steps can be taken at the university, but please talk to your colleagues, talk to your superiors about the need for generating HIV awareness, the need for generating risk perception, and the need for making condoms available for your students at least. Because today she had presented 3 cases from this university alone. She has so much more. This trend cannot continue if we want, because if we continue like this, we will be losing a generation. Lots and lots of generation will be lost if this continues. So kindly talk to your colleagues about this. Kindly talk about the situation, because these are not just make-up stories. These are facts. These are facts and findings at the testing centers. So it may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow straightforward, but please do make an effort. Talk to your colleagues about this so that something is done at the university. We may not be able to do so outside our university, but this is where we spend our time. This is where we work. So at least something has to be done to control new infection happening again and again among your students at the university. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our 3 resource people. I know you are very disappointed that very less people, but it's the tip of the iceberg, don't worry. Because even one person, if we multiply into 20, if we tell it to 10 people, we tell it to 20 people, that means 30 people, 21 people. So it's all right, yeah. And in the morning, we had a good discussion. And as I said, it was like the opening of a Pandora's box, can of worms. It is good. This is a good start. So we will go on from here. And hopefully, with the grace of whichever God we believe in, I know that we will do something. We already have a peer educators training which was done last month. So we had sent 38 peer educators. So 5 departments of the university will be doing an awareness on the 15th of this month in their respective departments. Psychology, sociology, zoology, fine arts, commerce, and library science. So we will request the PVC and the VC for 1 hour only, 15th, Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. So these peer educators will be going to those departments. The other peer educators will be doing it, this awareness, next year in February, because very less time exams are coming up. So all is not lost. So these 5 departments will at least have awareness, and we will make sure that it multiplies little bits. Drops of water make up the ocean, right? So thank you very much for your presentations. I know, as the PVC said in the morning, that I can imagine how difficult your work will be with all the denial that is going on around, even amongst educated people. So anyway, it's not out of our hands. It's still in our hands, so let's all do something about it. Anyway, this is not a vote of thanks. It's already 2 o'clock, 2:10 actually. So we still have the vote of thanks, but if people are willing to sit back just for 10 minutes so that I'm sure you have very pressing questions that you may want to ask. So is it okay with everyone if we give 10 minutes of our time for those pressing questions? Yeah? That we can ask the people, the experts, because we can't ask them to come again next week or this year. Maybe next year possible, but otherwise. So if we have any pressing questions, and with the permission of the people who are here, 10 minutes of our time, yeah? Okay, thank you very much. We'll do that now, okay? And so I'll hand over the mic to here, and people who have questions you can ask. Yeah, yeah. Anyone with pressing questions?
Although we say that, yes, Mizoram is having alarming statistics, a different side of the picture is also possible. When we say that other states are not having glaring pictures, it can also mean that there is less reporting made, because you have very rigorous methods of reporting and testing for even the minor procedures of medical treatments, which other states don't have. So if we follow the same protocol in other states, maybe you will get even dirty pictures especially from the central zone or otherwise, where lots of high-risk categories are prevalent. Having said that, it does not undermine whatever we are having now. So we need to address that question. I mean, it is very important that we problematize it in the context we are in. And the paradox is that Mizo society is quite complex. Like in any other society, it's not as simple as it is seemingly to be. It has both the traditional ethnic culture and the modernity posed by the religion or by the British missionaries. And now we're going through a generation which does not know to choose from what. So now the problem is, when we say that we're a free society, at the same time we are being jargonized with lot of constructions and all that. So I'm not a person who's strictly with the morality codes of society and all that. I believe that it is option. It's left with the individual. And I have I mean, it's all left to the person. I don't believe in the traditionality of any person. Nothing. It's all options. So if I have to I need freedom of sex. It's my choice. But it is very, very important to teach, as facilitators, to teach those who are sitting in front of us or our children to be responsible of that freedom. We need to understand that, yes, sex is optional. If you want to have sex, yes, it is optional, it's your choice. But how do you go about it? Like, I still remember, I come from a very progressive state, at the same time, a very patriarchal state. where in our schools we are given compulsory sex education from class 10. So from class 8. So from class 8, we do not have an alienated feeling about our opposite sex, about what their body is, what is a woman's body. We are not quite curious about it because we know what it is and all that. And from class 8, as a girl carries a sanitary napkin, a boy would carry a condom in his wallet. For whatever reason it is. For whatever reason. But it has become so much so a habit that even the parents give that 5 rupees every month, because after a month they feel that that condom is outdated. And we do not have a problem in looking into our son's wallet to find a condom in it, because it's part of an education that has taught us, yes, sex can be accidental, and if it is accidental, then be safe. We are not saying that you go have sex with any Tom, Dick, and Harry, no. But if you are going to, then better be safe. That is the kind of thing that we go through. Yes, sex, I'm just talking about the casual sex thing because it is of a higher, contributing factor. But nevertheless, the most alarming factor is definitely on the drug abuse. Sex can be restricted, but once into drugs, the prevalence is on a geometrical progression than on an arithmetical progression. So that is where effective government interference has to be made. If it is available, cut the source. And if the source has to be cut, especially in a state like Mizoram, where the boundaries are quite bleak and porous, make the boundaries strict. It is not that we are not in a country where military is not in a poor state of affairs, or the forces are not in a poor state of affairs. Make it if it has to be done. In spite of, I have all honors and respect for the fear element in it, but that will not do good in the long run, because fear is something that gets lost in no time. But effective state mechanism, effective mechanism from the educational policy level can make a drastic change in maybe 10 years, in next 2 decades, but it will certainly be done. Thank you. I'm Sheetal from Sociology Department.
I want to appreciate a word of appreciation. I don't criticize, okay? Word of appreciation for Red Ribbons Club. We have a bigger role to play. And your team is very energetic and enthusiastic. And Joint Director is very good. Your language, your communication is very effective. But only thing is, there are no ready-made easy solutions for any problems. What I feel is HIV and AIDS, it is only a symptom of a bigger disease. We have so many bigger diseases in the society. Because you people are concerned with HIV and this particular thing, you may be thinking this is a bigger problem. Actually, there is only, what I feel is it is only a symptom, not a disease. Disease is the porn we have in the smartphone. Even teenage boys and girls, they have access to this. And family sociology professors are there. Family plays an important role because students, they go to the university at a very later age. Family plays an important role, parenting plays an important role, school education plays an important role. And Mizoram having highest percentage of HIV doesn't mean people in Mizoram are less ethical. Unfortunately, we have borders with Myanmar, and they are not, we don't have very strong borders. And we all know when there was a debate in the state about banning liquor, there was some discussion taken place that if we ban liquor, then it may enhance consumption of drugs. Why we are talking about banning liquor? when drugs are easily available. And drugs are more dangerous. And many studies, it is proved that drugs are more dangerous than liquor consumption. So there are many issues actually, and statistics also says that these syringes and needles, they're also responsible for that. And in your case studies, there might be some cases saying that there are some HIV victims from the university. It doesn't mean free sex is going on. Still, what I believe is vast majority of people, maybe roughly I'm saying maybe 90% of the people, they are ethical. They are ethical. Of course, individual is always a debatable issue. Individual has freedom to choose, yes, but freedom means being more responsible, being more disciplined. I don't think, despite having Western impact, Western culture's impact, I don't think we have, as parents, we have matured such a way that please use condom, giving condom to the son and asking the daughter, be careful with your guy. Don't go to any guy if he's not having condom. I don't think we have matured in such a way.
Pro VC, and if you look at his presentation, although it's a welcome speech, he was speaking like resource person because he was that interested and he took the time to study what is happening in Mizoram also. So we have to thank him for that. Amidst his busy schedule, he was able to give that kind of welcome as well as
We don't like, we like our children to have ethical behavior. Having ethical behavior would save the person. If a person is using condom, then HIV may be preventable, but he would face some other problem. If he's having multiple partners, if he feels sex is like like having a cup of coffee in a restaurant, one can have a sex with anyone. If he's having such type of mentality, certainly he would face bigger problems. He may not be getting HIV. So what I would suggest to this your association is, you need to work in consultation with other organizations. Alone, it would be difficult for you to achieve our goal. Governments need to play an important role. Excise department needs to play an important role. We have psychology professors, professors of education, moral education, ethical education. This is very much important. Family plays an important role. And these things are very much important. We need to work, a coordinated effort, approach, long-term approach would solve the problem. Let us not narrow down our solution just to condom marketing. Condom marketing, I'm afraid, condom marketing would only help condom manufacturing companies to increase their profitability and sales. That is very easy solution, and don't just confine to only to that aspect. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to offer gratitude to the MZU Red Ribbon and Club and then the MSACs for giving us this opportunity and also informing us about the current state of affairs in Mizoram. And I would say that what has been said before me, though they kind of try to neutralize maybe what has happened here, it does not actually mean that we can lay down our guards. And my feeling is that it is very essential to look at these things from a humanistic point of view. And it is very important that every individual has been created differently, and we are blessed differently, and we have different abilities. But at the same time, trying to generalize in one particular way sometimes created problems. And I feel that this issue has to be taken up not only at the organization level, it has to be at the community level. And here, what I've heard today, the presentation and the case study, actually really surprised me that these things has happened. Though we have informations about people who behave, men who behave like women, who talk like women in some of the hostels and also in the departments. Okay. And then when I inquired last week that 2 years ago, there are some of these who are staying in hostel, and they used to recall the kind of languages they use. And so I was thinking, when I hear that presentation, maybe we must be also doing something, even in our hostel. But we may not be quite informed or aware of those things in the hostel. Now, when we get this information that it was quite rampant, and MSM, no? This is a very alarming thing, and I think we need to tackle it head on. We cannot just, laugh off or just brush aside. We need to take a very firm stand on these things. And then also, I believe that if people needs to stay safe, I think maybe it's not that we are going to promote, or the association is going to promote condom, but if people cannot guarantee their own safety, I think maybe it is also important that we educate ourselves as an institution about these things. And in the DSW office, they used to keep some, but I don't know whether these are still there or not. And we don't have anybody who come and collects. So I think this is also something which we need to be made publicized again. And in the near future, let us hope that we can have some kind of awareness sensitization program once again among the student community, because these are the most, I believe, the high-risk group, because among the faculty and the non-teaching staffs, it may not be that rampant, But now what is happening in Mizoram is among the youth, it is almost like an endemic, not only epidemic. Endemic means which is confined in a particular geographical area, a particular disease. So I think this is a very serious issue, and the institution, I hope, will also be very proactive in this effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Professor Ngura from Department of History. He is currently the Dean Students Welfare of the university. So that's one of the ways that we can go forward, besides the peer educators' awareness. So let's see. Anyway, thank you so much for your participation. So I hand over the mic to the Professor Lalbiak Diki Namte. She's a Link Nodal Officer with Red Ribbon Club Mizoram, to give the vote of thanks. And I would also like to introduce two Link officers who are present here today. Dr. Chana, can you please? Yeah, he's one of the Link Nodal Officers, Red Ribbon Club. Then here's Elshoy Liana. He's also another Link Nodal Officer. And there are 12 of us actually. And some of them participated in the morning, but they had some other work, so they were not able to come. There are 12 of us. And we have a site in the university website, and we will try to be more proactive, hopefully with all your support. And so I hand over the mic to the Professor Lalbiak Diki for the vote of thanks. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you, Professor Mai. Whenever the term HIV/AIDS, whenever I see that term or I hear that term, I usually go back to 1993, where I had the first encounter with this kind of programs. It was, of course, at the initiative of CHAN, Community Health Action Network of Salvation Army. And it was also Mai and Dr. Tansang from Aizawl College. They were very much active in that. And when I look back on those times, I can remember that we were trying, I will call it as we, because we had lots of meetings, and we were trying to find solutions, which was none at all. And at that time, whatever suggestions that we got from NGOs was that, give us the name of those people, and we will let them, our children will not talk to them, our children will not mix with them, and this whole thing can be stopped. So we started on that note. But I am now here looking at all the works that MSEX has done. I really appreciate that. And the passion that they have and the way they convey to us, it's really convincing. At that time, people were saying that it cannot happen to my family. It will not happen to my relatives, and the society, we can still save it if we let those people not be contacted by anyone. So we started with that. I will say we started because I was one among those people at that time. Now we have come to realize, not only realize, if you look at all the cases, we know that it is very much here, and it is very much in our family. Whether it is not directly in my family, it is in our family, we have to accept that. And I want to thank the MSEX people for giving us those clear picture, and your passion. I know it will go a long way in, we cannot talk about solution, but we can find alternatives on how to reduce this epidemic. And like we said, we are at the university level where our students must be aware of this, and they also need to be the counselor in their own way. And as our chairperson has said, Dr. Mangura, who is the Dean Students Welfare, we were just discussing, and maybe at the some events of the Students' Council also, maybe we can have some time where the nodal officers or where the link faculties or whoever can also say something on this. So we'll again start from 1993. Now I'm jumping to after 26 years. So now I'm more aware of what has been lacking in our society. And we have the university where the connection is so good. Like if you look at Professor Joyty, he has been here with us, sitting here. He's the dean, he's a senior professor. We have the